First time the donks and I have been off the road or off the farm all summer. I spent a lot of the summer busted up, and then they spent some of the summer busted up, and finally we're all able to walk. We're down a gravel road that goes east away from the house towards Richmond. I haven't got a... No, Missy, no, we're not going in there, honey. We're just going on down the road. They never see a crossroad they don't like. I'm just going down the gravel road to give them a little practice. Their feet were hurting, so we couldn't walk on gravel. So even after I started driving again, while we could only work on dirt, we got out here and they took one look at this road and they took off a running. Wanted to get a little, stretch their legs a little, and I just let them. We went at a pretty good gallop for a while and then eased up to a trot and went to a trot for a long time. Usually it'd take us 20 minutes, half an hour to get here, and I'll bet we're not out 15 minutes. There's the back of the old wagon we're in. There's the seat I'm on. There's the edges of it. There's the tongue. Here, girls, come on. I'm driving with one hand. That makes it harder. You're supposed to pull one end with one hand and one with the other. So I'm not going to make a very long video here because I haven't got a thing on here yet to hold my camera, but it's been so long since we were out. I just wanted to let y'all know it's after the harvest season. All the cornfields are all cut. That's just grass. We're coming up to a railroad track here. This railroad track used to scare him to death, but my friend Sydney and her good pony hawk come down here and led Missy across it. After Missy believed Pony Hawk that it was safe, well then Claire believed Missy, so. Been a long, hard summer for everybody. Made me feel old, made my girls feel old. I don't know how they feel really, but they sure couldn't walk for a while, or barely, limping and everything. Now we're good, our feet are happy. I cleaned all our feet out before we came out, but they were just nothing in them but mud, donkey shit, the usual stuff. That's Clara on the left there in the red, in case you don't know them yet. That's Missy on the right. She's my baby girl. Missy's Clara's mama. That's not why the sizes are different, though. Clara's 7 years old. She's, oops, easy girls, easy gently. I gave them too much slack there. She's not going to get any bigger. She's out of a little bit smaller jack, and she's genetically a little bit smaller. She's been fed good all her life. We know, she was born over at Sid's, and she's had a good life, but she just didn't get as big. That's all right. Roads are always crowned, you put the tall one on the right side, then puts them down lower and lets them look more level. Pretty deep down here. See what they did? They built this railroad track up along this valley. You can see that Clara's almost up even with Missy. She was ahead for a while they were trotting. That thing there's called an evener. It evens the load so that when one gets ahead of the other, they all still pull their own share. Railroad crossing, 2 tracks. A busy track too. We hear this is the ones we can hear from home. We hear trains all day and all night. There's no lights, but if there was one coming, I'd hear it real well. No, Missy, just go straight, honey. There you go. That's my girl. I know you haven't been across it in a long time, but you do this. You know how these work. There you go. Good girl. That's my babies. There, Missy. There you go. This line here, the green one, goes to the right-hand side of each animal's bit, and the red one goes to the left-hand side of each animal's bit. So when I pull on the right, it tells them both to turn right, or lean right, look right. When I pull on the left, it's the other way. You can see Clara's kind of walking along with her head sideways just because sometimes she's funny. But it's November something, almost December. It's I don't know what the date is, but it's fairly late in November, and still warm enough. I'm just out here in my work vest. Used to be, oops, I turned to who's it. Used to be when I was a young man here in Missouri, why you didn't come out this time of year dressed like this. There's somebody coming. I'm gonna let y'all go so I can drive with both hands. Bye. Well, we're still out here. Neighbor's dog has decided he wants to come out here. He's not sure for sure whether he wants to commit suicide or not, but he's thinking about it. He could commit suicide under one of Missy's front hooves in just a heartbeat, being silly, but he's decided to back off a little and just direct our traffic. We're a goodly distance from home now. Just looking at the countryside. We get up on top of this hill. This is Water Tower here. You can see the water tower up there. So this is the highest hill around. This is what provides the water pressure for the city of Richmond. Is the height of that tower. Buried cable there. Silly dog there. Used to be a house right over here. I always wondered if somebody didn't drive right in one of their bedroom windows one day and make them move on. See there, somebody used to have a gate to come up from below. We get up the top of this hill, while we'll be pretty soon we'll get up on pavement, and then we'll come around. We'll get on 10 highway and I just trot the girls home. It'll be quicker than coming back on the gravel. It's a lot flatter. This is a lot steeper. That dog's better part of a mile from home already, 3/4 of a mile. Out here in the country, you get away with that shit, you know. Once they settle down and want to, realize we're just going down the road, then it doesn't take so much work to steer them. You can see they're pulling pretty hard here. We're on a steep hill. I don't know how we can tell that, but both girls are pulling even. There's Missy on hers, and there's Clara on hers. Used to have a lot of trouble getting Clara to pull her chair, but she's gotten a lot better. Of course, she's always tended to pull her chair better. Oops, I got a car coming behind me. I'm going to have to get off here. That truck there passed us. The girl's been passed by a lot of cars going both ways. Well, while I wasn't videoing, we got passed going both ways by a FedEx truck. It wasn't as loud as that pickup, but bigger. You can see them working here. See, they're pulling pretty hard. I've seen them pull a lot harder, but you can tell by the way their legs work that they're pulling pretty hard here to do this. I recognize and honor their work and their strength and the effort they make. Right here we're coming. There's a water tower right there. Right here we're coming around the top, and see right here we're going to hit pavement. This is the farthest we've been off the farm this year. Early in the year I didn't have time to get out. I was doing too many different things. Then I got hurt, and they got hurt, and everybody got hurt. Been a kind of a bum year. Look at that silly dog. Missy and Clara fluffed at him. He said, "What?" If that was my dog, I wouldn't be happy that he was that far from home. But my dog has been that far from home a number of times, so I guess it don't make much difference. I'm real pleased with how well Clara's doing. Clara, you're doing a good job today. You're a good girl. Down the valley. Everything that's still green up here, everything that's still green up here is Amaranth honeysuckle. It's an invasive, and it's god-awful invasive. It's just filled all our woods. I'm fighting it in my woods with mowing machines, but man, I'm telling you what. Guess we hope something here evolves to eat it. Some kind of bug or something evolves to rot it or kill it. Life in the country. Look at her cry how hard she's pulling. She's such a good girl. Both doing a good job though. I'm pleased with my girls today. Been a long time. I haven't been out. This is the speed. They walk about the same speed I do. So I'm riding on this wagon now, but I'm going about the same speed I would be if I was walking. They trot quite a bit faster than I walk, but they walk about the same speed. Used to be those things there scared them to death. Black mailboxes used to scare them to death. Been a long time teaching these girls that the world wasn't going to get them. There's that silly dog coming out of the grass. Spooked them both there. I'm sorry about how rough this video goes. I'm just gotta get a phone holder mounted on this wagon. I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it. We got a little orchard right there. Don't know what kind, but it's a little orchard, I'm pretty sure. About 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:15 in the afternoon, I guess. It's getting a little cooler. I almost wish I'd have worn more clothes, but I haven't even rolled my sleeves down yet, so I guess I'm not that cold. Be that or I'm hard-headed. Anyway, I'm just letting y'all see, because life with donkeys is good, you know. Life with donkeys is peaceful. This is, I like this. I'm trying to tug Missy back a little, get her a little over the side. See, now Clara's leg back. We're going down a hill. No work to do, so she lets her mama lead. But and I fussed at her a little bit about that. You can see she got slack in her traces. Her single tree's just hanging there. Well, Missy says too. We're going downhill. Their butts are the brakes. Their single trees hang down, and we go downhill. I think that's kind of a pit bull cross up there. He's a pretty dog. Carries his head high. Goofy though, not at all obedient. His owner tried to call him 4 or 5 times when he first came up and bothered us. He just blew him off and came on. I wouldn't be happy if that was my dog, but then it ain't, so I don't have to worry about it. Missy, honey, get over a little to your right. See you a little there, baby. That's better. I like that better. Good girl. Another trail crest here. We come over it. Maybe one, maybe two more, and then we'll go down the hill into town. This road hits town right at the edge of the city limits. I've driven it to go into town a couple times. Remember honeysuckle, red cedar. Somebody's coming up behind us, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's that guy up there in his workshop making that noise. Look at there's a little old daisy still in bloom this time of year. Ain't that pretty? Wow. Tell you what, weather's really gotten weird. What that is there that's green, that's not an Amaranth honeysuckle, that's something else, but that and there's a red bud. been cut off a lot. See here, we're on the flat ground. I stood up just to give you a different view of the girls, a little bit more of a top view. That's my old man standing up in the wagon there. See that black stump right there? When I first brought these girls up here, those trees had just been cut down and those stumps had just been painted black. And black things scare donkeys. They think they're holes and they might have predators in them. And I'm telling you, those big old stumps just scared these poor girls half out of their wits the first time we come up here. Big old black rock up there. See that black painted rock? That scared the living daylights out of them. Black trash can up there, that used to scare them. Missy here, straighten out, baby. Here, honey. Now, come on. There we go. That's a girl. Wonder if that dog's gonna go all the way back to my house with me. If he does, Bandit's not gonna like him. Bandit's a lot bigger than him. See, Clara's here. It's how she's cocked over to the left. She's looking. She still doesn't trust that rock much. It's not like it used to be. She's not all terrified. She's not trying to jump away from it. She's just keeping a close eye on it. This trash barrel here, I can remember trash barrels like this just about giving us a wreck. Biggest thing about donkeys, driving donkeys, is that if they think they're safe, they'll pretty much do whatever you ask them. You just gotta let them know they're safe. You don't have to force them. You don't have to beat on them. You don't have to do anything. What you gotta do is make them feel safe. Make them know that you care and that you're not going to get them into something that'll hurt them. See, Missy's watching that. This black mailbox over here used to scare them to death. Now they don't even know it's there. Safety's everything to a donkey, and they take personal responsibility for their own safety. If they think you're doing something dangerous with them, the odds are they're not going to do it for you. People think you have to abuse animals to make them work, and it's just the opposite. If you want to make animals work well for you, get animals to work well for you, you got to be kind to them, be gentle to them, let them know you love them, let them know they can trust you, that you're not going to hurt them or get them hurt. And if you teach them all that, you know, this is better for them. You should have seen them run when we come out. They were so tired of being in that dry lot and being stuck in that barn. They hadn't had a chance to run in 3 months. They come out of here just at a dead gallop, and it wasn't because they wanted to get away. They were just tired of being tied up, or they don't live tied up, but you know, tired of being in a small spot. They like to sightsee. I come out here just to sightsee, and they like it too. You know, the more you do this with them, the happier they be. And I don't mean just out here. I mean when you're back at the farm and you're working them regular, they're just placid and pleasant and happy as can be, and it's the easiest thing in the world to catch them. You walk out there with a halter and they run up and stuff their face in it. I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. They like to work. People got this all wrong, you know. Animals and people. This isn't abuse, and this isn't enslavement. This is partnership. I arrange for their food. I keep their feet clean. I take care of their health. I brush the mud out of them. I tell them I love them. I give them goodies. And they do stuff for me. We're in this together. You can see that long hill down there, and that down at the bottom of the hill where the line we're on goes away, and there's a crossroad down there, and that's a blacktop highway, and that's where we're heading. And then when we get on that, we'll just turn and head home. And I won't be videoing it all on that, because I'm not going to try to video while I'm driving in 45 to 55 mile an hour traffic. And the girls can handle it. Now see here, the brakes are that strap around there behind, and see how Claire's having to kind of struggle. This is a steep hill. One of the things that's wrong with this wagon is it doesn't have any any brakes of its own. The only brakes I got is these donkeys. And so they're having to hold it back. See how slack their traces are and how their single trees are just hanging back down there. And see how tight that is around Missy's rump and how tight that is around Clara's. Those things called britching. They're the brakes. They get their pull from the front of the tongue. That cross piece there at the front of the tongue is called a neck yoke. And it hooks to a arrangement of straps that goes under their tummy and pulls these brakes, pulls their britching up against them. And they have to, it's harder for them to do this. It's just like if you got bad knees like I do, it's harder to go down a stairway than it is to go up it. And this is basically harder for these girls than going up. We get down here a little farther, I'll turn them into a trot here. Girls, trot up. Go on. And that's how hard it is to get in a trot. That's how much I have to whip them to get in a trot. So, like I said, all this thing that people believe that working animals is abusing animals by ipso facto, that's not true at all. Working animals is a teamwork event. We're all in this together. And this made their lives easier. They're not having to hold that back so hard. They can just trot along with it. And they're, the traces are still slack, but their britchings aren't near as tight now. So it just... every strap on that harness has a purpose. There's not a single thing you see there that's not doing something that is productive for either safety or forward motion or braking action. And we're about to get down here where the slope goes slightly up. It's easier for them to trot on blacktop like this than it is on gravel, because on the gravel, the separate pebbles poke up between their hoof walls and into their soles, and the soles are what was sick when they were injured this summer, when they were ailing. I think they got a toxin. I think they got some bad food, food that they ate that caused it. But their soles were real tender. But see this, like trotting on blacktop like this, they can do this for a long time. Donkeys have much tougher feet than horses. These donkeys aren't shod, but you see how light they land, how light they are on their feet. Donkeys don't pound the ground like running horses do. They float across the surface of it, just touching it no harder than they have to. And so they can trot on this ground, like now here, so they're pulling up the slack on their traces right there. But they can trot on this ground for a long time. See that stop sign up there? We're going to stop, so I'm going to let y'all go now. I'll see you. This is probably the end of today's video. I don't know for sure, but I'll see you later. Well, we're off the back blacktop and on the road home. This is St. Cloud Road, road I live on. You can see here I'm holding the lines. I just barely got them in that hand, and they're hanging loose between them. Girls know this road as well as they know their own barnyard. I don't have to pay much attention here as far as driving them. They got this down. Standing up again just to relax my butt. This whole thing, I got some cushions for this old wagon seat, but I haven't got them on it yet. Got kind of chilly. I had to roll my sleeves down to keep from freezing my behind off. Heck, it's only November something or other. Grass is all green. Uh-oh, somebody's coming. Bye.